Hello and welcome back to the Etsy Consultant podcast. And as you can probably hear, I've got a bit of a cold, so please bear with me as I record this session for you. I always say that I'm going to try and make more of these podcasts, but I just never seem to get round to having the time to do them. But I'm going to make a concerted effort next year to bring more of these, because I know that some of you like to listen to what I've got to say and have me on in the background when you're working or doing other things rather than necessarily watching me. So this podcast is all about what is coming for 2025 in my world and what I'm doing. And there's 4 things that I want to talk about. All of them should deepen the quality of what you're getting from me in terms of content, but also the connection with me. When I'm filming for YouTube, I feel that everything is very samey in terms of what I'm doing against what other people are doing. And I really, really want to start to differentiate what I'm going to be doing next year. And this podcast, and whoever's listening, you guys are going to be the first to know what's coming. So the first thing of the 4 that I want to talk about, and something that's really, really been on my mind for a while now, is vlogging. So actual getting out there into the world, filming experiences, connections, Etsy sellers, a bit more in depth and a bit more connected. So more about stories, more about what's going on behind the scenes. You know, I mean, lots of you sell on Etsy, some of you want to sell on Etsy. I sell on Etsy and I obviously consult on Etsy, but I want to know more about the stories behind the sellers and the people that I meet. And I've met thousands of people virtually online. Some of the stories that I've heard and some of the scenarios that I've heard about from sellers are incredible. You know, and some of the feedback that I've got from people I've helped has been, for me, just life-changing to know that I've actually made that much of a difference for someone's life, you know, change the path of their lives. And I'm so grateful to be able to do this for people. So the vlogs are going to be out and about. They're going to be outside my office. The very first vlog that I'm doing is going to be a trip to somewhere in Europe. I'm not going to give too much detail away now, but it's going to be a journey to Europe, and I'm going to meet someone, and it's going to be the process and journey of what that entails. And for the first time, I'm going to talk a lot more about my background, give a little bit more insight just to what makes me tick, and, you know, interesting things from my background, and just maybe interesting things day to day that I pull up when I'm doing these vlogs. The main thing I want to do is get out there, right? Get out there, you know, just get out and meet people and bring to light, bring to the surface these unheard stories of sellers selling on Etsy and their lives and what they're going through. This person that I'm going to meet in the first vlog, I'm really, really wanting to help this person. I'm taking him on as a mentoring client, but I really want to help him get out of the situation he's in and improve his life. So I'm going to document this journey, and who knows? I don't know if anyone's going to like it or not. I mean, I think it's interesting. Whether you guys think it's interesting or not, I've got no idea. But certainly with the vlogging, I'm open to suggestions. I'm definitely open to suggestions. I've got my plans for next year about meeting people, going places, just deepening this connection with the community that I've got, the people that follow me, and also the Etsy community as a whole. Everyone's sitting behind their cameras in studios and offices just filming Etsy content. And to be honest with you, I need something more exciting. I need a more authentic connection with my audience and the people that are involved in what I do. So that's the first thing, vlogs. And as I said, if you've got any ideas or things that you would like me to film in a vlog, please leave them in the comments of this podcast, or go to my YouTube channel, pick any recent video and just put the comment on my YouTube channel, on my video saying, I think this would make a great vlog, and then just give me your suggestions. I'll probably mention this on my YouTube channel as well, because I'd love some input on what you guys would love to see. Okay, the second thing is that under development, I'm developing an e-commerce platform. I can't give too much detail away at the moment, but it works with Etsy. It's something completely new, something revolutionary for all sellers, and more details will be forthcoming. It's been taking me so long to get this project up and running. It's under development. It's very exciting. And I will give everyone more information when I can, but it's a big project, and it will be revealed as soon as I possibly can get to that point to reveal it. So that's the second thing, a new e-commerce platform. The third thing is I will be bringing more workshops next year. So I'll be doing more Zoom workshops for sets of 10 sellers. I normally do them over a weekend, like 10 on a Saturday, 10 seats on a Saturday, 10 seats on a Sunday. And I know that people like them. You know, whenever I do them, they always sell out or near sell out. People like the method of teaching because we're in a group. So there's a massive advantage to me teaching in workshops, and that is if I've got 10 Etsy sellers all together, we can share stores. I can show you things about one store and then another. We can all compare notes. It brings out a sort of a different way of learning. And I learn too. You know, I always learn something in workshops that I didn't notice before, because there's multiple people in there at once. So that's the third thing. Workshops will be coming. I'm trying to make maybe something in January, and then spring, and then September. Or it might just be spring and September, I don't know yet, but at least 2 workshops next year. So the fourth thing I'd like to look at and like to do more of next year is in-person seminars and weekend retreats. So this is part of my own development. I want to go out and meet people and be able to advise them on their businesses in smaller, more intimate group settings, so that I get more time with everyone and more time to make an impactful and meaningful change on their lives. And I'm also looking at going wider than Etsy. So I have, it's become apparent that I've got deep skill with analysing businesses and quickly understanding where all the weaknesses are. What are the points of failure in business? So I could be talking about a website, I could be talking about a bricks and mortar store, I could be talking about multiple stores, distribution centres, things like that. I want to get into a bigger field of work that's not just Etsy. I'll always be doing Etsy. It's what I've built my consultancy business on. But I definitely want to look wider, and because when I work with people, I've got lots of clients in America, and when I work with them, actually I'll give you an example. This is quite interesting. One of the clients that I work with, he's a woodworker. He makes high quality wooden furniture for sale on Etsy. And he came to me because his sales are slowing down and the revenue's dropping, and he's saying, Nick, you know, I've got 7 or 8 members of staff and the revenue's going down, and I need to turn this ship around. I mean, I used to do, you know, 2 or 3 times the revenue that I'm doing now, and the revenue's dropping and it's not turning around. So I worked with this client fairly recently in mentoring, and one of the things that I identified, I said to him, you know, when you're making your furniture, which costs $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. I said, well, what are you doing with the wood that isn't used? And the chap said, well, we're just throwing it away. I said, how much wood are we talking about? And he was saying quite a lot. I mean, it will fill a decent sized living room full up with wood. I said, well, I said, what do you do with it? And he said, well, we just throw it away, we burn it. And this blew my mind. And I said, right, well, we're going to stop that. We're not throwing any more wood away, and we're going to start to accessorize and cross-sell into smaller wooden-based products with a lower price point that then brings extra revenue, extra sales, and extra visibility from material that you were just going to throw away. I mean, it was incredible. So there's a perfect example of what I mean. I want to go into people's businesses and identify, isolate, highlight all the areas that could improve that company and that person's business. And this is something I feel really passionate about. I've been doing my existing consultancy for 10 years and working with people the way I have on Zoom primarily for 10 years. But next year, all this is going to change, and I'm going to get out there and get into real life and start meeting people, and sharing it with you. Sharing it with you on the podcast, on YouTube. And as I say, I don't know what the feedback or what this is going to look like for everybody, whether people will be interested or not. But I'm going to try it, and I'm going to see what happens, and hopefully things will be positive. So thank you to all of you for listening to this episode. I'll try and get another one of these podcasts done soon. As always, follow me on YouTube, Etsy Consultant. Follow me here on my podcast. The information I bring to you is not available anywhere else. I'm not affiliated with anyone. I don't have a vested interest in other companies. It's just me and what I do. And, I've got 10 years experience in helping people on Etsy and in business. So please follow me. I would appreciate that. And I will catch you all in the next podcast. Thank you.